Welcome, I'm Nina Gryphon, and this is the Astrology and Magic channel. Today we'll talk about the astrology of week 2 of May 2024. First off, I'd like to say thank you to all of my patrons. I appreciate your support. If you would like to become a patron, you can go to patreon.com/NinaGryphon, where if you sign up for one of the tiers, you will get early and in many cases exclusive access to astrological and magical content. And at the very highest tier, you'll get access to my monthly Magical Elections ebook, which teaches you how and when to make astrological talismans. On May 13th, we'll get the Sun conjoining Uranus at 23 degrees Taurus. Now this is a jarring combination which can lead to extremes, and it begins a translation of the light by the Sun between Uranus and Jupiter, remaking the Jupiter-Uranus conjunction and its extreme themes. So surprises and unexpected occurrences often attend this combination, and we will really feel this all week as the Sun moves from Uranus in the beginning of the week to Jupiter at the end of the week. May 13th, Venus at 17 Taurus will sextile Saturn in Pisces. This combination is mainly remarkable because Saturn is received by Venus, who is quite strong in her domicile. So this aspect may be favorable for agreements and unions involving real estate, older people, traditions, inheritances, and everything that is old or belongs to the old. Sextile aspects primarily bring opportunities, and here we can use this time to strengthen existing bonds and create something beautiful that also endures. May 15th, Mercury enters Taurus, while he will remain until June 3rd. So Hermes now dons the garb of a lover or officiant of marriage rites in this springtime sign ruled by Venus. As the spiritual agent of change, Mercury now turns his attention to the realm of relationships, social ties, and pleasure as he enters the domain of Venus. He quickens the development of matter by uniting different or even conflicting elements. In alchemy, Hermes is the intermediary who can harmonize and unite the opposing forces of the sun and moon, of gold and silver. In Christian terms, Mercury represents the Holy Spirit, the wind that blows where it desires, and you hear the sound of it, but cannot tell whence it comes and whither it goes. Mercury then is change itself, which has no face or form like the wind. So changes in the tangible and visible realm are afoot while Mercury passes through Taurus. Things that appeared fixed and unchanging are now stirred up. May 17th, Mercury at 2 Taurus will square Pluto in Aquarius. Mercury stirs up matters pertaining to great power and riches and those who wield them, symbolized by Pluto. Pluto himself is an agent of change but requires Mercury to initiate the transmutation. We can expect accelerated transformation that is maybe uncomfortable at this time. May 18th, Venus will conjoin Uranus at 23 Taurus, so we could expect a shock involving Venusian people, women or children or LGBTQ people. Taurus in particular, being a sign of Venus, emphasizes the Venusian nature of those impacted. May 18th, the Sun will conjoin Jupiter at 28 Taurus, so this is the end of one synodic cycle of Sun and Jupiter and the beginning of another. The last Sun-Jupiter conjunction in Taurus occurred in May 2012, as they happen once every 12 years. The last time this aspect occurred, President Obama said he was in favor of gay marriage, which kicked off the rapid change of policy on gay marriage across the United States. There are quite a few stories of gods or heroes entering the underworld who end up married to the king or queen of the dead. The conjunction is important because in traditional thought, it is the conjunctio, the sacred union that completes and balances the rulership of a particular land. There are quite a few stories of gods or heroes entering the underworld who end up married to the king or queen of the dead. Persephone and Pluto are one such story, but there are even older versions, such as of Nergal and Ereshkigal, which we will discuss in due course when we get to Mars under the sun's beams. So for now, let us say that despite the underworld being the kingdom of the shades where all life goes to die, it is also a place of the sacred marriage. So the conjunction of the sun and other planets therefore promises fertilization and an outburst of joy and prosperity. This is especially true when the conjunction occurs in Taurus, a sign ruled by Venus and where the planet of fertility, the moon, is exalted. Jupiter is purified and re-energized through his contact with the sun. This new cycle occurs in the Pleiades, the group of 7 stars on the shoulder of the celestial bull. In one myth, the Pleiades are the victims of a metamorphosis. Orion the hunter blunders into their home to catch them, and the girls, weeping, call upon Zeus for help. He changes them into doves and places them in the sky, where they continue to weep, which is a reference to the Pleiades' rainy nature and also their blurry appearance. For this reason, this cycle may bring about rain, storms, and floods, but also it helps us to be rescued from dangerous circumstances through evacuation, exile, or even banishment. So out in the external world, the Sun-Jupiter combination brings about great good fortune arising from apparently difficult or unpromising circumstances. Alternatively, one person's loss is another's gain at this time. Here, the Sun completes his translation of the light from Uranus to Jupiter, so this combination is not yet done with us, and its themes of extreme progress or extreme depravity continuing to resonate. May 19th, Mars will conjoin the North Node at 14 Aries. It's a turbulent combination, given that Mars is the god of war, scorched earth, and terror, while the North Node above all represents blindness as to the illusory nature of this world. The North Node, or Rahu, in Vedic astrology pulls us deeper into delusion and into this world. The renowned historian of South Asian art, Dr. Heinrich Zimmer, described this delusion as follows, quote, "The world, not as it is in itself, but as we perceive it and react upon it, is the product of our own maya, or delusion. It can be described as our own more or less blind life energy, producing and projecting demonic and beneficent shapes and appearances. Thus we are the captives of our own maya shakti and of the motion picture that it incessantly produces. Whenever we are entangled and re-enmeshed in vital, passionate issues, we are dealing with the projections of our own substance. That is the spell of Maya. That is the spell of creative, life-engendering, life-maintaining energy." End quote. So Mars's conjunction with the North Node describes a time when the collective delusion or dream takes on a martial, aggressive, and destructive tone. In other words, our Maya Shakti shows us a martial image around this time, whether in our personal lives or in the collective. The key is to remind ourselves that what we are seeing now, however disturbing it is ultimately part of the cosmic dream. Zimmer describes a Javanese description of the goddess Durga overcoming a mighty demon, giving us a model for how to approach Maya. The goddess has caught the demon by the hair and is about to deal the death blow, the heroic stroke that is to save the world. But in the features of the great victress, there is no trace of wrathful emotion. She is steeped in the serenity of eternal calm. Though the deed in time and space bound to be accomplished, the expression on the countenance of the goddess minimizes, indeed annihilates, its importance. For her, the whole course of this universe, including her own apparition in the role of its rescuer, is but part of a cosmic dream. It is only a feature of the universal display of Maya. Though the goddess, as the supreme divine being, assumes a form and plays a part in the dream drama of the universe, and playfully enacts the leading role at a great climax of the piece, nevertheless, she behaves as someone might who was playing the role of hero in his own dream, fully aware, meanwhile, that he is only dreaming." End quote. So even though Mars with the North Node may bring something dramatic, something violent, something very jarring, at the same time, we are now reminded that what we are seeing is a part of the cosmic dream, and we would be well reminded of that as we look on. Stay tuned for Week 3's forecast next week. My name is Nina Gryphon, and this is the Astrology and Magic channel.